Markets are off the morning highs. The mid-caps fall in line with the benchmarks. PSU banks, realty and metals are some gainers, while FMCG and consumer durables are the big laggards along with banks.
The Indian Army floats a 30,000 crore rupee tender for the Anant Shastra surface-to-air missile. BEL, being the integrator of the missile system, could see the expected win, pushing its order book to over 1 lakh crore rupees.
The United Kingdom has backed Tata Motors' Jaguar Land Rover with a £1.5 billion loan guarantee to support its supply chain that is running thin on cash. The government backing will protect jobs of thousands and align with Britain's focus on industry to boost growth and exports.
The Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas flags low valuation of enterprises under its wings. It promises performance-linked pay for top executives, rules out levies like windfall taxes, promises price stability and value unlocking via divestment.
Good afternoon. You're watching Business Lunch. We are coming to you live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studios. I'm Hormuz Patakia. With me is Vamakshi Dhoria. Vamakshi, good afternoon. It's an extremely choppy day of trade. There has been some recovery from the lows, but the bulls would not be pleased with the turn of events over the last few hours.
Well, absolutely, Hormaz. In fact, in the last couple of minutes itself, we've seen a, very good recovery play out as far as the Nifty is concerned. We're off the lows by almost 62 points. So that does bode well. Guess where the lucky charms, Hormaz. But, the mid-cap end of the market is still managing to hold on in the green. For now, the mid-cap index is up almost 187 points despite the kind of fall that we saw earlier in the day. There's some bit of recovery that is coming in out here as well. Other than that, the support is also coming in from Nifty Bank because that too has moved into the green. It's flip-flopping between the green and the red, and the broader end of the market too, the advanced decline ratio largely in favor of the declines. It's a mixed looking screen for now, and apart from that, when you look at specific sectors as well, a lot of them in the green. PSU banks are doing well. Take a look at Bank of India. That stock is up almost 2.6%. Canada Bank is also doing extremely well, up 2.5%. Media, on the other hand, is not doing too well given the fall that we've seen in Nazara. That stock is down almost 5%. So, of course, it's been a very choppy day, but we're seeing some big moves both on the upside as well as the downside, Hormaz.
Someone needs to tell the market participants that the expiry is tomorrow, not today. Almost giving expiry day feels considering the choppiness that you're seeing. But the one not so good thing about the fact is that despite being opening gap up, we have not managed to break the lower highs and lower lows streak. We've already made a lower low considering the fact that we broke below Friday's intraday low, which was 24,629. So today's intraday low is 24,619 or 615, round about those levels. And of course, the intraday high now is still fairly distant at 24,790 odd levels for the Nifty. So that is something that the bulls would not like, continuing to maintain that lower highs and lower lows on the charts. And that is something that the market will be watching out for going into the monthly expiry session, which is tomorrow. And of course, the banking stocks, ICICI, Axis, Kotak are the big laggards, and support coming in from HDFC Bank and SBI. So choppy trading day. Head into the final 2.5 hours of the trading session. It remains to be seen how the day turns out. But of course, defense names have continued to remain in the spotlight. BEL among the top gainers on the index, while most of the other defense names are seeing some profit booking, including BEL. Now, even that has cooled off from the highs of the day, and that is after the Indian Army had issued a tender for air defense missiles. Ria is now joining in to tell us more on not just BEL, but the other stocks that could contribute to this as well. Ria.
Well, yes, Hormuz, as you said, the Indian Army has issued a tender worth rupees 30,000 crores to BEL for the QRSAM project. Now, the Indian Army is going to procure around 5 to 6 regiments of this Anant Shastra surface-to-air missile weapon systems, as they're calling it now. And remember, back in May, shortly post Operation Sindoor, the DSE had cleared the procurement proposal for this project as well. Now, BEL will be the lead integrator for the project, and the execution is expected to commence from FY27 orders onwards. Now, this order enhances BEL's current order book to more than rupees 1 lakh crores. The order book at the end of Q1 of FY26 stood at around rupees 75,000 crores, and the total order inflow in FY26 so far, ex of the order that we're talking about, is roughly 11,500 crores, which is 42% of the FY26 guidance for the year, which is around 27,000 crores. Now, going forward, the company has also said that they are expecting EBITDA margins to remain at 27% in FY26, and revenue growth in the medium term is expected to be upwards of 16%. Now, let's also look at some other companies that will be contributing to this QRSAM project. The first one is Bharat Dynamics. They are going to manufacture the missiles for this project, and the expected order value is between 10,500 to 12,000 crores. For Apollo Micro, they are expected to onboard the computer and complete navigation system for this project. They are also going to contribute to the power distribution units as well as one of the critical actuation systems for this QRSAM project. Now, the expected order value for Apollo Micro will be between 800 to 1,000 crores, and this is important because the current order book of the company is roughly just about 735 crores, so this will be a big order for them. Now, for Astra Micro as well, they are expected to contribute to subsystems like TR modules as well as subsystems in missile programs for this project, and the expected order value for them will be between 1,800 to 2,000 crores, and the current order book for Astra Micro is rupees 1,891 crores. Even a company like Axis Cades is expected to contribute to the project. The exact nature of the contribution is not known, but the order value will be between 100 to 200 crores for this. And even two companies like Data Patterns and Paris Defense are also expected to contribute to this project.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Ria, for putting all of those things into perspective. But moving on then, the Nifty rejig will come into effect tomorrow. Interglobe Aviation and Max Healthcare will be included in the index, while Hero MotoCorp as well as IndusInd Bank will be dropped out. Vivek tells us more. Vivek?
Well, that's right. Like you mentioned, so the Nifty come tomorrow will have a new look. So come October series, the Nifty will have two fresh constituents at the expense of two constitutions that will be making their way out. Remember, changes or the flows will happen in today's trading session, and that is what we are looking to get an estimate of. So Max Healthcare, like you mentioned, will enter. It's expected to see inflows of close to $360 million in today's trading session. Interglobe Aviation, or Indigo, is the other stock that will make its entry into the Nifty at close to $381 million of inflows is what the stock is expected to see. On the other hand, Hero Motor expect outflows of almost $300 million, and IndusInd Bank expect outflows of close to $220 million. These are analyst estimates as to the exact quantum of outflows. Another thing that our viewers should keep in mind is the fact that a whole host of these changes have been advanced or have been notified well in advance. So a lot of positioning has already been taken as far as these names are concerned.
Indeed, a new look for the Nifty 50 starting tomorrow with Interglobe Aviation and Max Healthcare entering the index, and Hero MotoCorp and IndusInd Bank being excluded from the benchmark. Now, the other major trigger this week is the monetary policy, and the three-day meeting of the MPC has begun today, and the governor will announce the rate decision on Wednesday at 10 o'clock. And what is the market going with? Lata is here with what she is picking up. Lata, good afternoon.
Well, before I tell you what the market is expecting, let me tell you the way the growth inflation dynamics has changed from the August policy to the one coming up on October 1. I did a poll of economists for what is their GDP forecast for FY26. In August, their forecast was 6.4%, and now it has become 6.7%, because intervening we got the first quarter GDP, which came in at 7.8. So clearly, and then there's the GST cut. So growth has gone up. And look at the CPI number. 2 months ago, the average on the street was 2.9. Now it's got to 2.4. So that's why the street is divided. Actually, if growth is higher, why do you need a rate cut? But if inflation is falling so much, there is space for rate cut, which is why the street is completely divided. Our own citizens MPC voted 3:2 in favor of a cut, but it was, very thin, but that kind of a vote. Likewise, we also asked them how many are you expecting any future rate cuts at all? That is after the August policy. And 4 out of 5 said that yes, there will be at least one. One said she's expecting 2 cuts. Only one person said that there will be no cut at all. So the market is poised for a cut, mostly in October, but definitely, if not October, in December. Now, what the market wants really is not just a a rate cut now, but a dovish sounding RBI. And, the signal that they will be looking for to find out whether the RBI is dovish is RBI's inflation forecast. Currently stands at 3.1. Like I told you, even in August, everyone was standing at 2.9. Now, do they come close to 2.5? Will be one point they will watch. If they go towards 2.5 or 2.4, then the market will believe that RBI thinks there is place to reduce. As well, they will look at the year ahead RBI forecast. In August, RBI had given Q2 FY27 forecast as 4.9. That was the most hawkish statement in the August policy. The governor need not say anything. That number was enough to tell the market that you can't expect a rate cut. If year down, it is 4.9, way above the mandated 4% mark. Now, that 4.9 will definitely go down because the starting point of inflation index itself is going down. Secondly, there have been GST cuts. Some of them are in the CPI index. And thirdly, the CPI itself is going to be recast as of February 2026. So they will definitely bring it down. How much do they bring it down? If it comes really close to 4, then the market will believe that if not in October, there is another cut. In fact, if they cut it drastically, the market will go with even 2 cuts. So this is what the market will watch out for. Their inflation forecast and maybe what they say about the bond market. But this is the big number.
Well, thank you so much, Lata, for getting us all of those details and insights. We'll be closely watching out for the outcome of the meeting. But let's take a short break then. More news and updates follow on the other side, so don't go anywhere. Thanks for staying tuned into Business Lunch, but let's get you some updates on the trade negotiations between the United States and India. Sources are telling CNBC-TV18 that both sides are trying to meet the fall deadline for the first tranche of the trade deal. However, the date, venue of the next round of the talks are yet to be finalized. Now, the Commerce Ministry has also said that the two sides held constructive talks on the possible contours of a trade deal and that meetings with US businesses and investors had evoked a positive response.
Meanwhile, US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, in an interview to a news channel, stated that India remains among the big ones Washington wants to settle trade disputes with. Lutnick said, and I quote, "We have a bunch of countries to fix, like Switzerland, Brazil, India. These are countries that need to really react correctly to America, open their markets, stop taking actions that harm America, and that's why we are off sides with them."
All right, shifting focus then to the metal space. Silver and gold have hit yet another high. Manisha is here with all of the details. Manisha, over to you.
Well, September has seen string of all-time highs when it comes to precious metals, gold and silver both, and multi-year highs, of course, coming in for platinum as well. So for gold, it's an all-time high. We've seen prices above $3,800 an ounce now. And for the Indian markets, it means 1,15,000 rupees per 10 grams. With these kind of gains, we are trading nearly 46% higher for this year. This is the best yearly gain that gold has seen since 1979. With the expectation that the central bank buying, geopolitical tensions, tariff concerns, the US government shutdown issues, and of course the rate cuts going forward, all of that are very, very supportive. We seem to have done targets for most of the banks and brokerages, but gold is something that markets do believe is, while it is overbought on the charts, but still under-owned by retail institutions and funds, and is the reason all that buying continues to come into the space. For silver as well, we're trading above 46, even $47 an ounce right now, and this is up by nearly 63% for this year when it comes to silver. For the Indian markets, we've crossed 1,43 rupees a kg as well. In the month of September itself, silver prices have gained up by 20,000 rupees a kg for the Indian consumer here. This is the best yearly gain that silver also seems to be putting in last 10 years right now. Expectations here as well are that you could be looking at 48, 50, $52 an ounce going higher, and by Diwali itself, 1,50,000 rupees would easily be crossed there. Markets are looking at deficit, especially when it comes to silver. The industrial demand is at near record highs. It's 100 million ounces of a deficit for silver in this year as well, which is, by the way, a 5th straight year of consecutive deficits. So those factors clearly supportive. Platinum not too far behind. We are looking at prices up by 75% in platinum also for the year 2025 till time, and more further gains not ruled out.
Boy, record highs for silver, record highs for gold. Mama, you dreaming of buying any of them?
Can't even dream at such prices, Hormaz.
Manisha, thank you for that update. We take a short break. More news and updates on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The big news from last night. India are the Asia Cup champions for the record 9th time now after beating Pakistan by 5 wickets in a closely contested final. The match between the arch rivals swung both ways, but in the end, a special effort from India's middle order, led by Tilak Verma with an unbeaten 69, made the difference for the men in blue. However, the Indian team, led by Surya Kumar Yadav, refused to accept the Asia Cup trophy from the Asian Cricket Council President and Interior Minister of Pakistan, Mohsin Naqvi.
Well, absolutely. That was quite a close game with Pakistan after a very long time, quite closely watched. But with that, that's all the action we have on this edition of Business Lunch. We're leaving you with the green-looking screen for now, at least up 29 points higher for the Nifty. Don't go anywhere. Mid-cap radar comes up next.